mediation in Ayodhya case, after all these years, can it really get us somewhere? Big newsmakers joining us right at the top of the program, Dr.Subramanian, Rajya Sabha MP of the BJP, and very strong take in favor of the temple, Asaduddin Owaisi, Lok Sabha MP, Chief of the AIMIM, with his take on what should be done to solve this case. Welcome to both of you. Asaduddin Owaisi, let me just first begin with you, sir, and let me get this clear from you. Barely an hour after the Supreme Court passed this order asking for mediation, you have hit out against one of the key mediators, Sri Ravi Shankar. Don't you think you're being a little too early, maybe being a little too judgmental before being completely dismissive, Mr. Owaisi?
Sir, may I please remind you and refresh your memory that the interview which you did with Mr. Ravi Shankar last year, in 11-minute interview, I would request you that please at 1 minute 28 seconds and at 4 minutes 31 seconds, please go back and listen to your own interview which you did, wherein this mediator had said that this is a matter of faith. He has clearly said that the masjid will not be constructed over there. They can construct it somewhere else. We'll give them land. See, if a mediator is coming with a biased mind, when I go for mediation, I want the mediator to be neutral. He should not be connected to the subject matter which he is going to mediate. He should not be connected to the parties which are coming to him. Here is a classic case wherein one of the mediators has clearly shown his affinity and his likeness to one of the parties. So that is why this is a cause of concern for me. Despite that, Supreme Court has given a judgment. We respect it and let us see what happens.
Okay. Dr. Swamy, where do you stand on that, sir? Do you really believe that we can get anywhere? What is the basic starting point for this mediation, Dr. Swamy? This entire exercise. What's the starting point? Tell me.
The starting point should be that these two contenders, the Sunni Waqf Board and the Ram Janmabhoomi Nyaya Samiti, they are the principal parties. What is it that they can give up without harming their basic position? The Sunni Waqf Board is fighting for not a masjid, they are fighting for a title to the land. And that's understandable because a masjid is not a place which is holy for them. It's a place where you read namaz. And so they are sensibly laid claim to the land, saying that we have the title. And as far as the Hindus are concerned, or the Hindu parties are concerned, they are fighting for building a temple which pre-existed the masjid, and that was on what faith told the Hindus. Ram was born, and there's no other place you can go.
No, but explain to me, Dr. Swamy.
The only leeway that exists...
Yeah, when the Supreme Court says, sir, let's go in for mediation, and when the Supreme Court puts in all these three mediators, the literal legal implication of the word mediation would be that both parties should be willing to move beyond their stated position. So I want to ask you, are the Hindus in India, are the Hindu communities, are they willing to move beyond their stated position that Lord Ram was born there? Are we willing to move beyond that?
What do you mean by stated position? Hindus cannot go beyond their scriptures. They cannot go beyond their shastras, which is prevailing shastras. You can't do blasphemy. If we believe that Ram was born at one place, we can't allow a masjid to be built there. For 500 years, the Hindus have been fighting for what? Not just a temple. We got lots of temples all over the country. But this is a special temple because it is where we believe Ram was born. And therefore, we treasure it. The Muslims are not fighting for a masjid like something in Makkah. They are fighting for any ordinary masjid, and they have got thousands of masjids in India.
I see.
And all that we are saying is that don't build it on where Ram was born.
So therefore,
build it somewhere else.
Then Asad Bhai,
they can accommodate that without losing anywhere.
Are you willing, Asad Bhai, let me put that question to you also. Are you willing to move beyond your stated position that there was a structure which was known as the Babri Masjid, which was demolished on the 6th of December 1992? Are you willing to move beyond that position? Are you willing to give up your claim on that land?
Well, let us wait for the mediation to start. I am not going there. It is the Sunni Waqf Board, the Muslim Personal Law Board which will go there. And secondly, you have heard Mr. Swamy saying that there cannot be mediation basically. Mr. Swamy is saying either you accept what we are saying or it's my way or the highway. And you're right when you say that the mediation will, all the parties will have to talk about it. But Mr. Swamy is being obstinate and he is being stubborn over here. I do not know what will happen when the actual mediation starts. Within 4 weeks, an interim report has to be given. Let us wait and see. I do not want to be as pessimistic as Mr. Swamy. When the Supreme Court mandated mediation is going on, let us wait and see what happens.
No, since you've named Sri Ravi Shankar as an individual who had a biased opinion, and since he happens to be now on this mediation panel, Asad Bhai, Sri Ravi Shankar's position wasn't in that interview that you were talking about, which I am going to play later on in the program. Sri Ravi Shankar's position was very, very clear that let the Muslims give up their claim on Ayodhya and we will facilitate construction of a masjid elsewhere. Are you willing to go by that position, Asad Bhai? Are you willing to accept that position?
You're absolutely right in quoting that mediator statement in your interview. Now, would you go to such a mediator who has already made up his mind to support one party? His opinion is completely biased.
But there are
That
others.
is why I have raised my objections on the neutrality of that particular mediator.
But there are others. But
now,
there are
if
other two
he
mediators
holds
as
such
well
a
on the
biased
panel.
opinion, you and me, it is a foregone conclusion. There is no need, because that mediator would definitely talk in that same language because he has already made a public statement. He has given an interview to Bhupender Chobe. At 1 minute 28 seconds he says it. At 4 minutes 32 seconds he says the same thing. Now, what kind of neutrality do I expect when that is his frame of mind?
So Dr. Swamy, then what is going on? Can I be blunt with you, Dr. Swamy? And I don't want to, fall on the wrong side of the biggest judges, the most respected judges in this country. But is the Supreme Court basically displaying that the Supreme Court does not want to be seen to be passing a judgment on this case? And that's why the Supreme Court has now passed this case to this panel of mediators? Is that what I make out of the situation, Dr. Swamy?
No, because that's reading motives into the minds of the Supreme Court judges. The Sunni Waqf Board has made such a stink about translation of documents, which they had accepted in the Allahabad High Court, by the way. Now they are saying, no, this needs to be revised. So 8 weeks have been given for that. And the Supreme Court judges said that we got 8 weeks. And let us examine it. And
but Dr. Swamy, you know this better than me, sir. Sir, you know this better than me that on all previous occasions, so far 8 attempts have been made in the past. Since 1986, 8 attempts were made to work out an out-of-court settlement. All those attempts failed. All those attempts failed, sir. And you know, sir, that when Justice Liberan was asked, no, I'm not changing the subject, sir. I'm just on the point of the sanctity of 8 weeks. I'm trying to understand, Dr. Swamy, whether there is any sanctity of this 8-week time period. Is there any sanctity of this 8-week time period?
No, you are changing the subject. You asked me whether anything can come out of it.
Yes.
I told you, and whether this was just sort of putting it off. I told you the circumstances in which this was set up. And we all know, I myself was asked by Justice Kehar, you may remember, 2017 for the first time, after 2010. He asked me to find out whether a negotiated settlement could take place. He said, I myself will come and participate in it. And I spoke to everybody, including Mr. Owaisi, and they all felt that this should be decided by the court. Now, there have been attempts, of course there have been attempts. Where is the rigidity? The rigidity is that we are bound by our religion, that this was the place where Ram was born as per faith, and there was a temple. It was demolished by a barbarian from Afghanistan, and now we want it back. We have been fighting 500 years for it, and that is what the core of the Hindu view is. What is that? What is the Muslim parties like the Sunni Waqf Board fighting?
Asaduddin
Not
Owaisi.
for a masjid.
What are you fighting
They are
for?
fighting for the property.
Mr. Owaisi, are you
Yes.
fighting for property? Are you
They are
fighting for construction of a masjid?
See their petition. See their petition.
Dr.Swamy's
Please
position
don't
is this.
interrupt. Please see their petition.
Yes.
No, I'll state my own position. The petition says that the property belongs to them because Babar had conquered that place.
Right.
This was rejected in the Allahabad High Court, and now they are still maintaining that only. Unfortunately, they have lost track of recent events. Narasimha Rao government nationalized all the land, and they did it on a principle when the land reform land was being nationalized. Zamindars kept going to the courts. So
Asad bhai, what is this about?
So Jawaharlal Nehru brought in a law.
Asad bhai, Subramanian
So what I am saying is,
yes, I get you, sir.
wait a minute.
Yes.
Wait a minute.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
I am saying that the government has nationalized the land, and all that the Sunni Waqf Board is going to get, even if they win the case, which is unlikely, is compensation, nothing more.
Is that what you
Because
read
the
of the
land belongs
situation,
to the
Mr.
government
Owaisi?
now.
Asad bhai,
The government can give it to anybody.
Is that how you look at the situation, or is this Dr. Swamy's interpretation of Asaduddin Owaisi?
This is Mr. Swamy's classic wrongful, deceitful, distribution of wrong information. He is an expert in that. You know for a fact that the Supreme Court has clearly stated that whoever wins that case will get that additional piece of land. So that is the stated position. The government tried to ensure that the excess land which the government of India acquired. No, please, Mr. Swamy, allow me, I didn't interrupt you.
Sir.
At least have that courtesy.
Yes, yes.
Recently, the government tried.
You said, I know this, I don't know this. Where is it stated?
Yeah, so go ahead.
Where is it
Sir,
stated?
let me complete.
You say Swamy knows that it is the Supreme Court has said this.
Go ahead.
I don't know any such thing.
Go ahead. Asad bhai, go ahead.
You drop my name. You tell me what the facts are.
Asad bhai, yeah, go ahead, Asad. Go ahead.
Now that is the position. Thirdly, Supreme Court has given a stay on this judgment. Fourthly, Mr. Swamy has enlightened the whole nation that what will be the stance of the Sangh Parivar when the mediation starts. Because Mr. Swamy is clearly stating that they have only 1 point program. They are telling us, you just leave that piece of land. So where will the mediation go? Where will the whole process go? Mr. Swamy's statement is very clear. He is not reflecting his views. He is reflecting the views of the Sangh Parivar. Okay. Mr. Swamy is reflecting the views of Nagpur to the nation. And may I remind Mr. Swamy, do not always look at us as Indian Muslims from the prison of Saudi Arabia. Masjid is important to us. This is a title suit. This might be a matter of faith for you. You go to Supreme Court, your petition has failed. You talk about Justice Keher. Sir, Justice Keher could have taken a decision as today's decision has been taken by the Honorable Supreme Court. That was not taken. So this is a Supreme Court mandated mediation. Let us wait and see what happens in 4 weeks. They have to give a report.
What I get very clearly from both of you is this, that Dr. Swamy is clear, the mediation has to start with the premise that there has to be a temple there. And Asaduddin Owaisi is also clear that the mediation has to start with the basic understanding that a masjid that exists there. Now, if that's the starting point for any mediation, then I don't know what exactly is going to be achieved at the end of this 8-week period. Asaduddin Owaisi and Subramanian Swamy, thank you so much for joining us at the top of Viewpoint.